Listen up, you donkey. The year 1918 wasn't just about the end of some bloody war. It was a year when the world decided to throw a bloody pandemic at us. The Spanish flu. Millions dead, millions more struggling to survive. Food was scarce, production was in the toilet, and people were struggling to put a decent meal on the table. Farmers were dropping like flies, supply chains were shattered, and people were left wondering where their next meal was coming from. In this series, we're diving headfirst into the culinary trenches of the 1918 pandemic, exploring how this global crisis changed the way we produced, consumed, and thought about food. The Spanish flu didn't care who you were or where you came from, it hit everyone and everything. Farms, the backbone of our food supply, were decimated. Workers were dropping left, right, and center, leaving fields unattended and harvests rotting in the bloody ground. Governments scrambled to implement new policies, pushing for increased mechanization and urging anyone who could hold a pitchfork to lend a hand. It was a desperate attempt to salvage what they could from the wreckage. The learning curve was steep, and mistakes were made. But amidst the chaos, something remarkable happened. Innovation. Tractors, once a novelty, became a lifeline, replacing lost manpower and keeping farms afloat. Scientists worked tirelessly to develop disease-resistant crops, determined to prevent such a catastrophe from happening again. The Spanish flu may have brought the world to its knees, but it also ignited a spark of ingenuity in the agricultural sector. With food production in shambles, governments around the world were forced to take drastic measures. Rationing became the order of the day, limiting the amount of essential foodstuffs each person could purchase. Imagine this: you walk into a shop, ration card in hand, hoping to get enough to feed your family for the week. Queues snaked around the block, and the shelves, once overflowing, were bare. The black market thrived during the pandemic. Food became a form of currency, traded in hushed tones and back alleys. People became resourceful, finding ingenious ways to stretch their rations. The Spanish flu exposed the fragility of our food system and forced people to confront the reality of scarcity. With pantries looking bare and familiar ingredients in short supply, people had to get bloody creative in the kitchen. Gone were the days of elaborate feasts and decadent desserts. The Spanish flu ushered in an era of simplicity, where resourcefulness was the most sought-after ingredient. Home cooks, faced with limited options, became masters of adaptation. Recipes were modified, substitutions were made on the fly, and every ingredient was treated with reverence. Meatless Mondays took on a whole new meaning as people turned to plant-based proteins to supplement their dwindling meat rations. Victory gardens, born out of necessity during the war, continued to flourish, providing fresh produce for families struggling to make ends meet. The Spanish flu may have stripped back our culinary repertoire, but it also revealed the ingenuity and adaptability of home cooks. The Spanish flu may have faded into history, but its impact on our food system continues to resonate today. It was a brutal wake-up call, exposing the vulnerabilities of our food production and distribution networks. The pandemic highlighted the importance of public health measures in food production and handling. Sanitation standards were improved, and governments implemented stricter regulations to prevent the spread of disease. The push for increased mechanization in agriculture, spurred by labor shortages during the pandemic, continued long after the crisis had passed. Tractors and other farm machinery became commonplace, transforming the agricultural landscape and increasing efficiency. The Spanish flu was a stark reminder that our food system is not invincible. Right, you lot, I want to hear from you. Did your great-grandparents ever mention the Spanish flu? What about those family recipes passed down through generations, born out of necessity during times of hardship? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. Food, as we've seen, is more than just sustenance. It's a reflection of our history, our culture, and our resilience in the face of adversity. We've journeyed back in time to explore how the 1918 Spanish flu upended the world's kitchens and transformed our relationship with food. If you enjoyed this deep dive into food history, for God's sake, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more culinary adventures. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. Remember, food is more than just fuel, it's a story. Until next time, stay hungry for knowledge.